button.
Welcome to episode 40, season 2 of the Snlf podcast, just to get it in the right order for Gaz, so no one else complains this week, hopefully. Full house this evening, bit of bank holiday football for some of us, but not for everyone. As always, sponsored by New Style Apparel, the hottest new clothing line, coming soon for the football casual, and it is coming soon, I do promise. I say it every week. One week I will have an update, and it'll actually be in a box here, sitting in my house. As I said, absolute full house this evening. Gareth, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yes, not too bad. Chris, good?
Yeah, good. My face is just about recovered from the beating it got on Monday from the sun.
wasn't the only thing that got a beating on Monday. And Mike, how are you?
G'day, lads. Yep, I'm all good.
We still got that Deadpool in the background as well. It's a little bit Rexy me. But there we go. That's for everybody watching. Anyway, my microphone's appeared that I don't actually need now, but there we go. Right, busy old week of football as always in Sussex, and especially this month as well in particular. It actually comes to a close this weekend. It actually feels like it's been 2 months rolled into one more than anything else. Our guests this evening, though, they haven't played many games this month when you look at some of the amount of games everyone else has caught up with and played. And there's a little bit of disparity when you look through some of the tables, which we'll come to a little bit later. But for those of you watching this evening and can see, our guest is sitting in the middle of my screen. It's the Broadbridge Heath manager, Chris Simmons. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, guys. Good to see you. Hope you're well.
Yes, very well, very, very well. Very tanned, I think, from watching too much football over the weekend, to be quite honest. But great start to the season for you. You've only played 3 games, though, but sitting 4th at the moment, one of 5 teams unbeaten. As I just mentioned, it's a little bit early to be looking at tables and stuff like that because everyone's played just such a mishmash of games at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's some teams that have played, I think 5, something like that. And also who you're playing against. It's a little bit of that as well. The FA Cup just disturbs the season so much at the start. You mentioned we hadn't played a lot of games, and obviously that's because of really us being, disappointed in the FA Cup and going out early. So it messes up all your first lot of fixtures. It's so early for everybody at the moment, I think. In what you were saying earlier, it does seem like 2 months of football already, even though not a lot of games, it seems like it.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong. I think this extra Saturday in August has thrown so many people out. I mean, it has trying to do our team of the week award as well, where there was a Saturday game right at the very beginning, no midweek, and then everyone started, and then it's been bang, 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 push all the way through, and carries on for some of them into next week as well. I know when we had you on last year, you were a little bit frustrated at how your season had panned out at that point because you dropped so many points in games that you thought you would have won. Did you look at anything a little bit different this summer when you went for your recruitment to try and put that level back up again?
No, not really. I mean, our plan from sort of when we finished to when we started the season completely changed midpoint of pre-season because of the change in our personnel. When we finished the season, we were thinking we probably needed maybe 1 or 2 in, and with everything that people had taken on from the coach and stuff last year, we were just looking to work on that and progress. But then, probably a week to the start of pre-season, and sort of we've lost 7 or 8 of our squad. So it was a completely different, a completely different thing then, because then you're rebuilding, you're trying to plan your pre-season as well as your games and everything like that, as well as recruit, which is the biggest upheaval of a side that I've ever had to do. So.
It certainly seems to have paid dividends so far, with maybe going out the FA Cup was a bit of a blessing, not having managed to lose the league game so far.
Yeah, the season started a little soon for us because we actually only probably settled our squad the week of the FA Cup game. We were still trying to get players to commit that were, they were trialing at some other places at Step 3 sides and things like that. And so we actually really didn't get it settled till then. So when you're trying to work on your shape and how you want to press and the way you play and people getting familiar with, we got our starting 11 at the moment. It's probably got 7 different faces in it. So trying to get them to sort of gel, as well. And so the FA Cup just came too early. So obviously week by week, I'd like to think we're starting to get a little bit more settled. And that's what we're hoping, really. So,
excellent. Now, one of those players you brought in over the summer is a name a lot of people might recognise, possibly not 2 or 3 of the people on the rest of this pod. But Elliot Romain, who bounced around a little bit last year, especially clubs around Sussex. How did you manage to get him into yourselves for this season?
It's funny. I've known Els for quite a long time, obviously. Locally and the age wise of a lot of the guys that I used to know and used to be here at the club. So I've known him for quite a while, but with the clubs he's always been at and the level he's looked to play, we've always spoke, but it's never been the right situation for the club. But his personal circumstances have changed quite a bit. He lives local and he's got a full-time job in town now, whereas it used to be football used to be his job. So it sort of changes what you're looking at when it comes to playing your football at the weekends, when it's not all about your living. And so it worked for us really. We thought we had a young side last year, but this year we've definitely got a young side. So we needed a couple of experienced bodies to give us that bit of experience. So
yeah, absolutely, he certainly does that, having experience way up the pyramid as well, doesn't he, Mike?
Yeah.
Chris, how you doing, pal?
I'm good, thanks, mate. I'm good.
Good. We had a great chat pre-season when you come on the DOD. You said you were slightly worried about where you were at times.
Definitely.
You've had a phenomenal start to the season. 5-1 win, 0-0, 2-1 at the weekend against Bridges. How far did you move in between when we spoke to now from where you wanted that team to be?
Yeah, a lot of hard work. As I say, there was a couple of faces that we weren't sure were going to commit that did. And then it's just been it's been a lot of work on the training pitch. I've got to say the lads have been excellent. Our coach is absolutely fanatical about what he does in he's the things that he wants to do and the way he wants to play and the way he wants to press and everything like that. And so you need players that are going to accept that and buy into it and take it in and not just think it's a waste of time. It's been good. It's definitely been the hardest time as a manager. But hopefully, as it settles down, the rewards are coming. The Herne Bay game's disappointing because we played 45 minutes against 10 men. So as far as we're concerned, we lost points there. The lads literally felt like they lost the game. So which again is a good sign. It's a good sign of where we are.
You said you've got a young side there, Chris, at the moment, and we know you have. Is there any you can see breaking out and going on further, do you believe? Any of the real youngsters? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's really funny because, as I say, I've said for the last 2 or 3 years that I thought we were a young team. When I look back, we had quite a few sort of 24-year-olds, where they'd been with us 3 years. I still count them as young, but they probably were 24s coming in 25. And more importantly, they'd played a lot of either county prem or Isthmian football with us. So they were actually quite experienced, but when the other week we split up, we had 20 odd at training, split them into 3 groups of doing a youngers, middles and an old team to play against each other as a bit of a competition. And we had to put a 21-year-old in our old team and that sort of told us how young we were. And it sort of rung a few bells. It's like, surely this isn't right. But yeah, no, there's definitely a couple of lads that I think will definitely go up the ladder. Hopefully for us, not too soon. And it's important that they don't jump too soon and they get the experience that they need. And obviously learning all the time. But
it seems to be a pretty good thing you've got going through the years. You look at your sides; they are young. You've got a wonderful pathway through the club at the moment. You've got some really decent young players in there. When it gets to the end of the season, do you still look for a few older heads to try and get you through those games?
Yeah, I think they've got to be the right players. I don't think it's just about going out and getting, if you like, an expensive or a well-travelled player from there. That certainly wasn't the thing with like going out for Elliot. We wanted a position, we needed a position, and that was some of the thinking. But definitely, if we think it can bring something to the side, someone like Byron. He's a model professional. He's the first one here to train in. He's controlled. He does everything the right way, and lads will just learn from being around him. That's off the pitch as much as it is on the pitch.
Brilliant, Gareth.
Yes, mate, Chris. I haven't seen you. I saw you New Year's Day. I think was the last time I saw you down at Lancing last season.
Yeah, I think wet and cold. I think it was.
Yeah. A bit different to what it is currently, isn't it? Look, 13th last season. I think. What's the main goals for this season? Is it to build on that? Is it to get the same level? Where are you looking at?
Yeah, it's really hard. If when probably end of last season, I'd have definitely been saying we're 100% pushing for playoffs and want to be on the verge of the playoff. The complete sort of change in our squad sort of changed it, and it changed our thoughts and our mentality a little. I don't know. You always go, yeah, of course we're going to look to push. We want to push for playoffs. If it goes right and we do the right things and we can keep everybody together, have we got the players to do it? Yes, I think we probably have. But it's a tough league, and and we know where we are in the league for the financial side and and everything else there. So we just have to keep working. The aim is definitely to be there and be in the hunt. But we've got a lot to do to be there when you look at some of the sides that are there now.
Do you know what? You've linked me right on to what teams in the division do you see as the toughest competition this season?
Yeah, Sittingbourne are going to be tough. I know they slipped up the other day, but they're going to be a horrible side to play. They're going to be a tough side. I think Faversham, we played them last year and they were a good side, and they've strengthened again, so they're going to be tough. So I think sides like that, you look at the obvious ones like Margate, even Ashford. They've not started great, but their sides with the sides that they've got and the players that they've got, they should be up there. But it's amazing to think what happens. But again, it's so early. It's so early to tell. Three Bridges have got a great side. We tip them probably for certainly the top six. That's some of the reason why we set out and played like we did on Bank Holiday Monday. Is we think they'll be there or thereabouts. It's a tough one, really.
Right, one final one, and I've got to ask this as I'm the food guy. If you weren't in the dugout, what was your go-to food from the tea bar or the from the food counter on a Saturday or a Tuesday night?
To be fair, I don't eat at a lot of places. I was actually at Lancing last night, and I had a burger there, and I won't rate it because your face said it all.
I can't wait to go back and rate it because it wasn't very it's not Lancing. That's the thing. It's not Lancing. We have to defend them now. It's not Lancing's burger, but I had one hungover a few weeks ago, and it was not very good.
I think I think if it's just going for a burger, I'd probably have a bacon egg burger. I'd have an egg in there as well. It's probably what I'd go
Nice. Nice.
for. Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. I'm going to pass you to Chris.
Nice
Chris?
Yeah, hi, Chris. nice to meet you at last. Yeah, I just wanted to comment on last season, because as you've said, this season the sample sizes it's had small. Great start though you've made. But I just wanted to say, like, what a great job you've done over the years. You've had 2 years now at step 4 and been 9th and 13th, which is just never in danger, despite, what you've said about, where you are budgetary wise. And last year, I don't know if you probably do know this, you had the highest percentage of points taken away from home, as in your points, the highest percentage of them came away from home as anywhere in the league. Was there anything, do you think, that was behind that?
I wish, if you could buy that bit of knowledge, I wish we knew it'd become a bit of a joke with us. We were going to change our home strip to red, and we even offered some teams to swap to playing away, because we were feeling a little bit like that. The lads were almost, whenever it said we're away this week, we're on 3G, and by the way, we're wearing a red kit, it was almost like it gave them a goal advantage. It was like, but I honestly don't know what it is. We didn't really set up any different because we were away. I actually think it's a little bit about the personality of the players. I think they get you get comfortable, so they turn up at home and it's a nice change room. It's relaxed. It feels like your club, so they're all a little bit more relaxed. When you go to some of the away grounds, you're just a little bit more focused in. You don't have that amount of time standing around, and you don't want to spend a great deal of time there. You just want to get there, do your job, and leave, sort of thing, generally. So I think, but yeah, it was. The other thing is, I think it's probably how other teams play. Sometimes other teams at home maybe come at you a bit more, and it leaves a bit more opportunity for us. Maybe it's more what other teams were doing at their place.
Yeah, I think, if memory serves, I think Eastbourne Town won there, but you won at the Saffrons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And you had the 5th best away defence last year, which, considering the strength of Sittingbourne, Margate, and Burgess Hill particularly, like that is a feather in your cap. You mentioned about the way you set up against Three Bridges. Is there anything you're particularly comfortable divulging here? Because it was a fantastic, what a result that was.
Yeah, it'll be pretty common. We set up a bit like we did against Ramsgate last year. So it's sort of really a low mid block. Let them have it in their third, and make the pitch small. So all over, make the pitch condense, make them work hard to get through us, really. Probably a bit boring for the neutral, not a way we like to play. But the other thing is the amount of time we've had with the new lads. It's harder to teach them good press, good shape, going in attacking wise, than it is to teach them a defensive block, if you like. It's easier, and we had a year with the other lads that that are now moved on, and we've only had really so many weeks with these lads. So some of the reason, obviously at the end of the day, the lads played well. So no matter what we did, they played well, and we rode our luck with some chances, and we took ours and they didn't. So,
Excellent.
Brilliant stuff. Chris, I know. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, let's hand back to Trev.
Chris, I know Gaz elaborated on a little bit of who surprised you with the way that they've started, or maybe not started quite so well. Who would you pick out in that division as a bit of a dark horse, other than yourself?
I thought Sussex has started brilliantly, because I know them really well. So they've done really well as a start. The thing when you first come up is I still remember the feeling. Every game is like a cup final, so you can just get everybody up for it. Especially if you've got a load of lads that haven't played that level, which they were the same as us. I don't know really. I probably haven't seen enough yet of some of the sides that had changes. Croydon, I think that have been a big surprise because they lost a couple of good players over the summer, and yet they look really, really good. They look very dangerous going forward.
Yeah, I'd say that they've actually recruited quite well. I spoke to Danny Kedwell and James Dunn pre-season when I was up at Cray Valley, but I think they've got quite a good mixture of experience and youthful exuberance, I should say. Their only question mark themselves was against whether those kids can do it on a cold Tuesday night at Broadbridge Heath or somewhere like that. But when they can pop out and sign Ben Winter a couple of weeks ago, who was at Woking last year, and Barnet and Torquay years before that, just shows, doesn't it? Some of the levels and clubs you're up against.
Yeah, definitely, and we're not hiding that we know where we are in that. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick up on that from Monty as well, because when I did the collaboration with John Phipps from the Isthmian League podcast, I called Croydon Athletic as my dark horse as well, and he wasn't too receptive to that. I know he's very, very, very Kent and anti everything else, but when we can go out and pick out the likes of Ben Winter, they don't really touch a lot of Stormzy and Zaha's money, from what I can see, from what they really could go and spend it if they really wanted to. With that power, it wouldn't surprise me for them to be the dark horses this year. Chris, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, my pleasure, and thanks again. Always welcome.
You're welcome.
Cheers, Chris.
I'm sure Gaz will be up to score a burger soon.
Oh yeah, not yet. Not till we get our burger van back.
Oh, even better. I've got to go Lancing before I come to you, though.
Yeah.
So,
brilliant stuff. Cheers,
see you soon, Chris.
Good stuff. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Right, let's crack on with
top guy, anyhow, Chris.
Fixtures and results. He is, isn't he? He is very, very good. There was someone else I did try and get on this evening, which I couldn't get. Just trying to mix it up between the divisions, because we've got a lovely waiting list, but it's all very weighted towards the Southern Combination at the moment. So to balance it up a little bit, we need to get a little bit more into the Isthmian. So there we go. Right, let's kick off with the results this week, and we'll start with the FA Vars, which actually started on Friday evening, where Godalming won 2-1 at Copthorne. Then on Saturday afternoon, Marlow drew 0-0 with Lewisham Borough Community, but went out 5-4 on penalties. Oakwood lost 2-0 at home to Punjab United. Arundel went down 3-1 at home to Stenning Town. Forest Row lost 6-1 to Westside. It was Ringray FC 0, Tottenham United 4. Loxwood 1, Eastbourne United 7. Worthing United 0, Tooting Beck 2. Knaphill 1, Shoreham 2. Larkfield and New Hive 0, Peacehaven and Telscombe 2. East Preston 0, Hayward 7. Lingfield 1, Seaford Town 2. Bexhill United 1, Guernsey 4. Saltden United 1, FC Elmstead 5. Fink Sports 3, Lancing 0. Wick 1, Welling Town 0. Pagham and Newport Isle of Wight drew 2-2. But Pagham lost 5-4 on penalties, and Selsey beat Ringwood Town by 2-0. Then on Sunday, New Haven beat AFC Walcountians by 2-1. Mike, you were on the coach on what you thought was going to be a very long journey, but half of that really, to Knaphill near Woking. How was it?
Absolutely brilliant day with those Shoreham boys. Thanks to the chairman, Stu, for letting me on.
Is he going to let you on again? Is the question.
I'm already booked. I'm already booked on the next one, mate.
Jesus,
they can't keep the dugout off them. Yeah, it was a bit of a long one really, because we took Penn with us as well. Lee Penn started drinking at 9:15 in the morning. A few pints before we left. Got on the coach. Lovely place, Knaphill as well. Really, really nice. Reminds me a bit of the old Theatre of Trees, the old Roffey ground. Really lovely setting. £4 a burger. Lovely butcher's burger. Food guy would have loved that. Beers £4 as well. I had to obviously sample 7 or 8 of them. It was Louds. First half, pretty even. Second half, Shoreham, by far the better side, come through. Could have been more. They scored in like the 89th, 90th minute to win. And then we basically turned the coach on the way back to a party bus, much to the disgust of Loz Edwards. I think by looking at his face, he's a legend. But yeah, and then went back to the club. Absolutely beat everyone that was available at pool. Own that table now, and then went out with those lads in the evening. So great bunch, really great day. Yeah, on to the next one.
On to the next one. Yeah, I think that's in a couple of weeks' time. I think somewhere around about 13th, 6th or 13th. I think.
It sure is. I think it's the same kind of step as well, out over there in the Kent League. So yeah, so
I haven't had a real good look for it yet, to be fair, but things to do in the coming days is on my list. I ended up at Wick on Saturday afternoon, literally because I sat there watching Morecambe's great wonder story, finished with a 98-minute winner with players that were literally dying with cramp for most of the second half because they hadn't trained a week. So it didn't leave me with much choice of where to go. So I managed to pop down to there. Wonderful day for watching football, as I'm sure Mike and Chris as well. You both, testament to where you both were as well. And we'll come to yours a bit later, Chris, as well. But wasn't a classic game, which Lee won't mind me saying because he agreed with me afterwards in the clubhouse. Very open first half. Second half wasn't quite so good. So we were all set for penalties. And right in the very last minute, a nice hopeful up and under ball, I should say, and Welling's keeper, and this is Welling Town, not Welling United, who someone managed to get confused with in the clubhouse afterwards, which is an easy mistake to make, but there we go. Their keeper been fantastic, sweeping up behind his defence all afternoon, missed the ball as it came through, and left that man, Josh Irish, on his first start of the season, with an open net to roll in from 18 yards. So in the last minute, Wick won it to go through to the next round. They're away to Punjab, which would be nice and decent for food up there. Really is good. Nice little setting and a great club as well up there. So plenty of our sides through to the next round. We'll have a look at the Varshaw a little bit closer to the weekend it's actually on. Head next into the National League. Oh, Chris, go on. Do you want to chuck something?
Just about Eastbourne United, just to give them a heads up. Obviously, after their pretty disappointing result up at Sheppey in the FA Cup, they bounced back in style with a 7-1 win at Loxwood. I called that an upset. I said it might be an upset, and I've never been more wrong. So, not yet, anyway.
From that, Chris, I should mention that I think FA Vars Fact File tweeted on Saturday night, they went from their record FA Cup defeat to their record FA Vars win. So, as they say, a week's long time football, as it goes. Right into the National League South then. And on Saturday, Eastbourne Borough went down by 2-0 at Bath City. Horsham beat Torquay United by 2-1, and Worthing drew 0-0 with Enfield. On Monday, Worthing went down 1-0 at Chippenham Town. Eastbourne Borough and Slough Town shared a 1-1 draw, and Horsham went down by 2-1 at Maidenhead. This coming Saturday, Eastbourne Borough head to AFC Tottenham. Horsham are at home to Salisbury, and Worthing host Maidstone United. Whilst on Tuesday evening, Horsham host Eastbourne Borough, and Worthing are at home to Salisbury. Absolutely fantastic result for Horsham on Saturday afternoon, beating my tip for the title in the very last minute of the game. Who wants to jump in first?
Go on, Horsham.
Thanks, Gaz.
That's all right. I jumped in. I thought I'd fill the gap that's normally left. I think it's been coming as well. I think people slept on Horsham before the season started, and are probably going to be made to eat a few words. Everyone thought it'd be Eastbourne Borough would be up there, and they're not. I'm looking forward. Like Tuesday would be a massive game, wouldn't it, against Eastbourne Borough?
For both sides.
Again for both sides. But I think, look, I think Horsham would be all right this season. I think that win over Torquay, regardless of where it was, will absolutely boost their confidence, and they'll be well up for any games coming up, especially against their local Sussex rival.
Chris?
I agree. We said last week, I said there was quite a bit of overreacting going on, and I think that's been proven in the last few days. They've had 2 home games. They've scored 5 in those 2, and they've been against teams who finished in the playoffs in that epic title race last season in Torquay and Worthing. Like, fantastic stuff. And the 3 games they've lost, they've only lost by a single goal each time. So it's not like they're getting battered, and they've played some really good sides as well. So, no, well done, Horsham. Well done, Dom. Keep it up.
Yeah, I echo that. What Dom's done over the last 8, 9, 10 years is incredible. Obviously, knowing him from a youth, playing with him and his brother. Bloke's a sicko. When he was like 13, 14, he used to have stats on the wall of players back then. So you knew that's what he wanted to do, and what he's done is an absolutely incredible job. And I don't think he's stopped either. I think he'll go on and build. He's got a great fan base down there. Good club that backs him. Yeah, things you like to see. Horsham doing well.
Absolutely. On the same score though, Mike, Worthing, no goals in their last 3 games. Hang on, there's a few murmurings around at the moment. Go on, give us your take.
I've heard it, right? There's people saying Aggie out. We haven't scored any goals, or we haven't replaced this, or he's too stubborn in what he does. Bit early for that, isn't it? I mean, if you look at it, my team are losing 2-0 to Grimsby at the moment. So
yeah, but I think that was a little bit expected, is it not? The way United are at the moment.
I can end this stream very quickly. To be fair. No, look.
Boys, reconvene on Zoom. Don't worry.
I think it's too early to start giving him grief. He's just got a new 3-year contract. He's obviously got his way he wants to play. Okay, it can be frustrating for the fans, especially if you don't get the goals and that. They will be there or thereabouts. Trust me. They will be there or thereabouts, So I think some of those fans might be in their words in the next 6 weeks or so time. If not, I will.
Well, on Saturday, they faced Maidstone United, who are unbeaten, and only one of 2 sides unbeaten. The others are the leaders of Hornchurch. It doesn't get any easier, does it, when you're on a run of not having scored 3 in a row?
It don't get any easier, but you've got to keep going for the next one and go again. It's not like they're getting tonked or anything like that. They're just lacking goals and lacking a bit of creativity at the moment, So I'm happy to take any abuse from any Worthing fans. I live here. So, they will be there or thereabouts. Believe in him. He's a great guy, great manager.
I'm not
2 home games coming up.
I'm not taking it away from him, but last season they played their first 6 or 7 games away from home, and they started better. Look, I'm not Aggie out by any stretch of the imagination, but
I'm not.
I'm genuinely, the guys are.
You've been there when we were really.
Yeah, I know, but
you were one of the 20, 30 people that used to go and watch them, mate.
No, absolutely right, and I get that. I think there will be some murmurings purely because the expectation is so high and there will be murmurings. If those murmurings then make it to Woodside, I'm not going to call it whatever it is, a crucial environmental stadium. If they make it to Woodside on a Saturday or a Tuesday, and then the players start hearing it, you can vent as much as you like, but you need to support the team. If it gets to a point by Christmas, they're in the relegation zone, it's a different conversation altogether.
That won't happen.
Right? No, I don't believe it will, but at the moment, just get behind the team. Have your grumblings, take your moanings. I see it quite a lot when they announce. It starts before when the starting 11's announced. When the squad's announced an hour before kickoff, you get all the comments in there. Oh, not starting. Bailey Smith's not starting again, for example. Aggie is the boss. If Bailey Smith is doing enough to get into the first team, then he's doing enough to get into the first team. If Aggie doesn't think he is, then he doesn't think he is. question it, yes, but question it in the right way. Maybe we should get Aggie on and get him to come and have a chat with us.
I reckon that's the last thing he needs at the moment. Isn't it?
No, I think
interrogation.
but it's not interrogation, is it? We give them a fair. We've done this. We give them a fair opinion, and just mate, even if it's just to trust the process, like it will happen. Don't worry, it happened last year. But last year, people kind of understood because there was those 6 or 7 away games in a row before they sorted the stand-up. So, enough of that. Anyway, Worthing will be all right.
Right, let's get on to the Isthmian Premier Division. Right, results on Saturday. Brentwood Town 2, Burgess Hill Town 1, Chichester City 1, Welling United 2, Lewis 2, Pottsbar Town 1, and Wingate and Finchley 0, Whitehawk 1. Then on Monday, Chichester City 1 3-0 at Carshalton Athletic. Lewis beat Burgess Hill by the same score, and Whitehawk beat Dulwich by a goal to 0. Next weekend, all our sides in that division are in the FA Cup. So the full set of fixtures for that are Havant and Waterlooville against Chichester City, Denning Town against Lancing, Faversham Town against Hastings United, Woking Town against Burgess Hill Town, Bedford Sports versus Littlehampton Town, Three Bridges versus Walton Hersham, Blackwell Heath versus Lewis, and Hayes and Yedding versus Whitehawk. Lewis, 4 wins on the bounce after an opening day defeat. Rookie manager, easy this lark, isn't it?
Well, I got it wrong because I said struggle.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, something I didn't expect when you look at Lewis and Welling United, both got rookie managers. Lee Martin, who's played in the pro game, Brad Pritchard's also played in the pro game for Charlton as well. Opposite ends of the table, but I certainly isn't. But credit to them and fair play.
2 clean sheets as well, decent,
and a very good win against Burgess Hill on Monday.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, good Burgess Hill.
The next two fixtures are going to line up to be crackers as well. They've got Cray and Chichester at the Pan. So
which Cray?
Cray Wanderers. My bad. So yeah, they've got those 2 at home, and you know they've started off. Those would be 2 tasty fixtures, I think. Yeah,
I mean, it shows how open their division is as well. You know, Brentwood Town won the North Division last year, or came by the playoffs in the North last year. Went to Cray Wanderers on Saturday, who were unbeaten, having beaten Billericay on Saturday, thumped them 5-1, and sit top of the table. You know, and again, as we said pre-season as well, and you know, in one of our first shows, there's some big clubs in that division by name, by support. You know, and a side like Brentwood at the moment are blowing a few away. So fair play to Lewis for getting up there. Can't not mention Whitehawk as well. 3 games on 4 unbeaten and up to 7th. Brilliant win on Monday, giving Dulwich Hamlet their first defeat of the season and picking up a clean sheet. Are we going to find that we've got 2, maybe 3, maybe all 4 sides are going to be challenging the top half of this table?
Yeah. Potential, isn't it? Also, shout out Whitehawk. You didn't mention it, but that's actually the first goal because I messaged Toby after Saturday and went, "Is that 4 games, no goals conceded, 4 clean sheets?" And he went, "Yeah." And then on Monday he went and conceded to Whitehawk, didn't he? So, but shout out Charlie Lambert for getting the first goal at Dulwich who've conceded all season. But yeah, I think Whitehall could be well up there this year.
Do you?
Yeah. No, I do. I don't think they'll be in the relegation battle that everyone seemed to think they were.
No.
I think, yeah. I mean, why not? It's a marathon, not a sprint, but there should be no reason why they can't stay in and around where they are. It's surprising.
Well, yeah, 3 clean sheets in 4 as well. That's really impressive.
Decent.
Yeah, very good performance. Just a week off for them all with FA Cup action as well this weekend. All 4 of them actually on the road: Chichester, Burgess Hill, Lewis, and Whitehawk. I know we looked at the ties a few weeks ago, so we won't go into those again. But hopefully, from either Denning Town or Lancing, but hopefully we've got a few 5 or 6 coming through in the next round draw on Monday. Right, Isthmian South East time. Results last Saturday. in the FA Trophy preliminary round, Sussex drew 1-1 at Sheffield United, but won by 3-0 on penalties, and Three Bridges won by 3-0 at Marlow. In the South East Division, finished Eastbourne Town 1, Beckenham 1, Seven Oaks 1, Crowborough 0, and Sittingbourne 2, East Grinstead 1. Then on Monday, finished Broadbridge Heath 2, Three Bridges 1, Crowborough Athletic 3, Hastings 1, East Grinstead Town 0, Seven Oaks Town 2, and Sussex 2, Eastbourne Town 1. Fixtures this coming week. There's only a few, with Sussex taking on Broadbridge Heath in the Velocity Cup first round. In the Premier Division, Crowborough Athletic host East Erith Town, and Eastbourne Town travel to East Grinstead Town. And on Tuesday, another Velocity Cup first round game at South Park against Three Bridges. Chris, you were at both Eastbourne Town games. 1 point from 6. Not quite the return you expected.
No, well, I will say Beckenham aren't a bad side by any means, and we actually lost to them at home last year. So I suppose that's not a massive disaster. The defeat at Sussex hurt a little more, being honest. I mean, credit to Sussex. They're a brilliant club. They made us feel really welcome. And I said at the start of the season, like, I think they'll be fine. The way they coasted to the County Cup and the County Prem and the Peter Bentley, I thought they'll absolutely smash it. And they were the better side on Monday. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I'm certainly not. I certainly don't think. I said at half time I thought they were unlucky to be level. And I know that's not that's not just my opinion. I think there's a few who share it. The team, Eastbourne Town team, we are missing quite a few. I mean, last year, I think I said on one of the shows last year I was on. It was built on a solid defence, really, that Town's strength. And if you look at the back five we had last year, it was primarily Chris Winterton in goal, Jack Murphy, Nathan Hover, JJ Walker, Dan Hull. We've lost JJ Walker, we've lost Dan Hull, we also lost Tom Vickers, all three of them to Hastings. So already you're a few men down. We've brought in Harvey Mapstone, who I like the look of, but from a just pure bodies perspective, we're a bit off where we were last year. And on what day were we on? Wednesday. On Monday, we were also without Ian Robinson, who had to come off against Beckenham with a head injury. So that's, we were a bit depleted. I can't speak to Sussex's side; they might have been depleted as well. But I just know about Town, and yeah, it's not a great.
Are you worried, Chris?
I am a bit worried, but equally, I have full faith in Jude McDonald. I don't think we could ask for a better manager, to be frank. And I know he knows what he's doing. And I'm also cognizant of the amount of players we were missing over the last couple of days. Aaron Capon was available. Annie Sissamai has been injured. Jaden Fuller played on Saturday, but I think was injured. And then actually during the game, we lost two people at half time.
Where?
No,
All right.
we didn't just misplace them.
Hit off the last screen band, didn't they?
Yeah, we did a double. Yeah, we did a double sub at half time, and then Ollie Davis came off 5 minutes later as well. So it's one of those things. We've had a tough start fixture-wise, but I have full faith.
That's good. I said Monday, Sussex grew into that game a little bit. I think it was very much all Town. The opening 20-30 minutes, and then Sussex got into gear, and probably could have had 2 or 3 more. Though saying that, Town could have easily snatched the last minute equaliser. Good save from James Shaw. Get the points of Sussex. 350 something.
Something like
the crowd. I can't remember.
5, I thought.
Off the top of my head.
But yeah, good gate and yeah, just really nice atmosphere. There always is at the Beacon, to be fair. They've got the little playground at the top and the grassy knoll that everyone can sit on. It's just a lovely club, and I wish them all the best.
And great burgers.
Yeah, really good burgers.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 burgers, those.
I'd give it a good old 10.3.
What's the point in giving all these scores, right, for this Burger League today if you're just going to piss it up early doors? 9.5s, 9.8s. I'm just going looking for the 1 out of 10 burger. I will.
Go on, Gaz.
Unbelievable.
Go on, Gaz. Was that you didn't get to any football over the weekend?
Yep, that's because it was my mother-in-law's retirement party on Saturday, and I was in no fit state. And then Monday, similar to you guys, I got absolutely destroyed by the sun. I was stood at a car boot sale that Mike was at, and he still didn't see me.
Because probably because you're that red, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Watch out.
And the only reason I was at the car boot sale was because I was banned from the Saturday football, right? Or whatever it was. Yeah.
So, right.
Indeed.
Mate. Oh.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I agree, Lee. Timmy 9's been given. However, I'm going to give that a 10 on Monday, and I think you can give it a 10 as well because you were there, and I think you had a burger as well.
Lee, just to back that up, you gave the Nat Hill burger a 10 out of 10. So you can pipe down with there's too many 9s being given this early.
Yeah, to be fair, I think the League Pen had about 15 beers by then.
Well, it's bound to be a 10. Might only be a 3 normally. It's like no, I can't say that.
Well,
don't worry.
While we're on burger banter, I just want to give Crowborough a shout. I thought it was a good result for them at home to Hastings. Big event for them. And yeah, great result. And they've started fairly well. I mean, everybody's above town, so unfortunately, apart from East Grinstead, so I can't really go there. They've won 2 of their 4 games so far. I think they've started off really well.
Sorry, Chris. Lee, it's your first season. Pipe down. Get back to filming vlogs.
Right, into the Isthmian South Centre. Results on Saturday finished Harrowborough 2, Bognor Regis Town 1, and Leatherhead 3, Littlehampton Town 0. On Monday, finished Taunton 1, Bognor Regis Town 1, and on Tuesday evening, Littlehampton Town 0, Fareham Town 4. Littlehampton 7 conceded in 2 and none scored after a bit of a bright start to the season. I'm not going to suggest a Wilson coming off or anything like that, but a little, well, more than a little contrast, isn't it, between the opening week and 4 or 5 days.
Did they have one available?
From what I saw on the team sheet yesterday, yeah, I think Nick Dorenzio was back Saturday. Whether that just bringing him back in has upset the balance in the middle of that central defensive partnership, which I thought looked pretty decent. I know the pair of them were quite young. I don't know. Kyle O'Brien missed yesterday, I think. So Nick could well have played left back actually, but yeah, as far as I know, it was relatively the same. So George Gaskin was back in the starting lineup last night as well on Tuesday.
How fit did he look?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there? No.
Well, I've done 2 games on Monday. I've done one on Saturday. I have to balance it up a little bit. I don't need divorce papers coming my way like some of us might have coming. So no, I've no idea. But again, the core side of that team was as strong as it was of the 2 games I've seen so far.
I mean, the way I look at it, I think when we spoke, Mitch did the podcast pretty much about the other teams, and at the same time, they don't know much about his team. So he's going into a bit of the unknown. I think he's had a really good start. Obviously, last couple of games have been tough. Fully expect them to bounce straight back, and fully expect.
Yeah, they've been tough games. I mean, just looking at the fixtures now, I mean, Leatherhead, I think they'd won their previous 2. They're unbeaten so far. They've won all their games. They've only conceded 1, and they've scored 11. So that you can kind of write. It's a bit like Chris said before, and I think I said it last week on the show. Like, it depends on who you've been playing, doesn't it? And the sample size is little, and Leatherhead are obviously a good side, and Fareham aren't bad either. But
I wouldn't suggest Fareham are one of the best.
No.
I saw them pre-season the year before last against Wick, and I didn't think they were anything special, and they went on to win the playoff. But when I look at the context of that division, I wouldn't say Fareham. It's just a little bit I would have thought last night after the weekend, they possibly would have pulled a result out. So watching that come in last night was, as I say, it's not, so early in the season. It's not a concern. It's not a worry. It's not a panic. But the seasons where they've had a good run and then it drops off a little bit. But we'll keep an eye on that over the next couple of weeks. Just one game for them, obviously at the weekend with Littlehampton in FA Cup action. Bognor Regis are at home to Leatherheads, the first home game of the season, and obviously at Chichester, which, by what we heard today, they're going to be there till about November, but work is underway at Nywood Lane. Right, into the Southern Combination Premier Division, and of course with Vars games last Saturday, there was only one Premier Division game where AFC Vardinians won 3-1 at Midhurst. Then on Monday, Bexhill United beat Seaford by 3-1. Little Common won 1-0 at Eastbourne United. Haywards Heath Town beat Roffey by the same score. Horsham Midhurst and Eastbourne. Forest Road won 2-0 at Lingfield. Pagham beat Wick by 1-0. Shoreham beat Peacehaven and Telsman by 2-0. And Guernsey and Crawley down Gatwick was postponed because there wasn't enough room on the plane. Then on Tuesday evening, Newhaven beat AFC Vardinians by 3-0. Next Saturday, Guernsey head to Little Common, a 2 p.m. kickoff. AFC Vardinians host Horsham YM, but I'm not sure where that's being played.
Lance,
that man, any idea?
According to full time.
Darryl Lansing. Okay, I never trust full time. There's some dodgy things on there. I really have. Crawley down Gatwick, even travel to Midhurst and Eastbourne. Peacehaven and Telscombe are at home to Pagham. It's Roffey against Shoreham, and Wick at home to Eastbourne United. On Tuesday evening, the Peter Bentley Cup rolls into town, and it's Crawley down Gatwick against AFC Walkmountians. Little Common against AFC Uxbridge Town, both 7:30 kickoffs. Billingshurst at home to Horsham YM. Eastbourne United against Bexhill United. Lancing versus Shoreham. Midhurst and Eastbourne against Dorking Wanderers B. Newhaven hosts Seaford Town. Oakwood against Forest Row. Stenning Town against AFC Vardinians. Peacehaven versus Lingfield. Arundel versus, sorry, that one's an 8 o'clock kickoff at Peacehaven. Arundel at home to Worthing United. Godalming Town against Copthorne. Ringwood AFC against Jarvis Brook. And Selsey against Infinity. Excuse me. Interesting results on Monday.
Where we starting?
Up and down the land. Pardon?
Where we starting?
We can start there. We start
Horsham YM.
Start Horsham YM.
All right, let's start at YM. What is this? The Monday result, yeah?
This is Monday, yeah.
Was it 6-1?
6-1.
Yeah. I saw Joel's interview after. Very honest, very candid, very said it how it was. They weren't good enough all over the park. Big surprise, that one. Big surprise considering how they've started and how they carried their form from pre-season through. But does that say how good the other side was? In them more than me.
Yeah, and when you got a forward line of Joe Ben, Harry Heath, and Stan Bridgman, 2 of those players get a hat trick each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Ben, he's that good, isn't he? When he's fit, he is that good. And I think it's a shrewd bit of business they did there, getting him involved. Really did. But quickly going back to YM, I think they'll take that on the chin and move on. I really do. I don't expect that he dwell on it too much, Liam. I expect he'll want an immediate effing response. Knowing him. So we'll see, won't we?
We will. But in your words on to us on when was it? Sunday evening.
Where we go? Go on,
territory.
Go on, where you going? Go on. Oh yeah, no, I did. I see that any sides that get beat 7 and 8 and 9s, you know, that shouldn't happen to anyone. It was only 6.
On goal, wasn't he?
You did say that was yeah. No, that's how good Sen are coming on now. So, because I fully expect Horsham to be there or thereabouts in those playoffs?
I think the next couple of games, we've got away trips to Valdinians and Seaford, which I think if you'd have asked us pre-season, we probably would have all expected Horsham YM to come out on top in them too. But and then it's Little Common at home. It's Haywards Heath though before the end of September at Haywards Heath. So I think that'll be a bit more of a test of where they're at, so to speak. But I mean, admittedly, they did score half of their goals on Monday, but Sterling are the top scorers in the league. So, like you say, with that sort of forward line that Trev mentioned, like that's probably not a massive surprise. But yeah, they did get half of those goals in one game.
I've got to give a mention to Little Common as well, because they did tweet. I can't remember the tweet exactly, but it took them something like 5 months or something.
It was 14 games. I think the tweet said, yeah, it took us 14 games to get a first win on the board, and this time it only took 4. So
there
ground,
we go.
Russ.
At a ground that used to be their home. Don't forget.
Yes, it did, didn't it, for a while? Yeah. 10 games in front of themselves. I was at Haywards Heath against Roffey on Monday morning before I went to Sussex in the afternoon.
Was it tasty?
It was a very different kind of game to the one I watched last year in December when Roffey won there 2-0. I know Monty's listening, and man of the match performance, because without his saves it would have been 6 or 7. They rattled
one hell of a keeper, that lad, isn't he?
Very good. They rattled the bar twice, Haywards Heath. I would say they were very patient in what they did in terms of to get their goal in the end. And so if it hadn't been for Monty, they probably would have hit the net 6 or 7 times. Roffey weren't bad first half. I felt Kev made a tactical tweak at half time and nullified Jordan Mace, who was on in the thick of everything for Roffey in the first half and nowhere near anything in the second half. The only thing they lacked a little bit really was a presence up front for about 20 minutes. He's a goal scorer. I've been told he's scored a lot of goals in the combined counties, and I think one level higher as well. So that might be the missing jigsaw piece they need. But I think they'll be up around it again. Maybe not as close as they were last year. But early days we say. Forest Row, 100% record, same as Haywards Heath as well. The only two.
What start they've had, isn't it?
Yeah, very good start. Having lost their goalkeeper on I think Friday before the Vars game on Saturday. The Vars result was an absolute freak score, and I thought when I saw it at half time, how much losing your keeper had to do with it, I don't know. But recovered to win and keep a clean sheet on Monday.
Be bothered about that too much, Grant.
Possibly not. And I knew Hayden's 3-0 win on Tuesday evening as well has put them back into the top 4 or 5 as well. So
I think they're looking like they might surprise a few people. I got collared before I left Sussex by someone I know who was at the World Champions game and said that some of the recruitment that the new Avon guys have been doing is looking very sharp, and obviously they finished last season like a train as well. It looks like they're on a bit more of a stable footing than they were on this time 12 months ago. They're looking like they might be dangerous this year.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Wick, the only side yet to score a point, lost 1-0 at Pagham on Monday. When I spoke to Stuart Robinson on Saturday, so far just haven't managed to pick anything up out of them. But their pitch is going to cause them a problem this year. It's not bright. It's wobbly, it's bouncy. When you think you've got your touch, the ball goes over your foot. It's going to be the same for both sides, but there was a lot of that on Saturday against Wellington Town, where players thought they got it, and then the pitch is just taking it over their foot or underneath their foot because it just hasn't performed how you would expect it to, especially this early in the season. So that might be A, a leveler that helps, or B, a leveler that hinders, because you're going to get the odd bounce that actually ends up at a forward's feet instead of a defender's. Yes,
I remember we had the Wick manager on last year. I remember talking to him about their home record and how they had a bit of a rubber teeth in that they were seemingly doing better away from home, which was interesting. One thing I will just say in terms of their slow start, again, it's the same point I've been making. I'm sounding like a broken record, but their fixture list so far, they've had Guernsey, YM, and Haywards Heath already out of their 4 games.
You got to note. I'm glad you noted that.
Absolutely.
That is not a kind run-in. So you would hope for their sake that obviously when their fixture list normalises a little bit, then their form will too.
Yeah, and a bit like a few other sites as well. They're missing players at the weekend. I know on Saturday they were missing about 3 or 4. Like I said, Josh Irish, that was his first start of the season. Got through 90 minutes. He looked a little bit leaner again than he did towards the end.
He's quality, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Josh is a really great finisher. If he could constantly keep the timber off, then he probably would have been a step forward all the way through, because he's got that ability to find the back of the net all the time.
Yeah,
all the time, guarantee you 20 goals.
His goal scoring record last year for a team who weren't trouble in the promotion race was unreal. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he missed the section of last season injured as well.
Yeah, he did.
So it could have been even higher. Right, into Division 1, and only a few games at the weekend. Finished Billingshurst 2, Jarvis Brook 2, Dorking Wanderers B 3, AFC Uckfield Town 0, and Reigate Priory 1, Infinity 0. Then on Monday, it was AFC Uckfield Town 1, Ringway AFC 2, East Preston 5, Billingshurst 0, Godalming Town 3, Cockthorne 2, Infinity 4, Arundel 1, Jarvis Brook 1, Weather United 0, Marlow 2, Saltdean United 1, and Selsey 0, Lockswood 0. Then on Tuesday evening, Dorking Wanderers B 2, Reigate Priory 2. And this evening, as we record, Oakwood are currently hosting AFC Walcountians.
What's the score, lads?
2-0 Grimsby.
Nice. Oh, guys, is looking for that one. Fixtures for Saturday: AFC Uckfield Town versus Preston, Arundel against Godalming Town, Billingshurst host AFC Walcountians, Jarvis Brook head to Infinity, Lockswood host Dorking Wanderers B, Marlow at home to Oakwood, Ringway AFC against Reigate Priory, Saltdean United versus Selsey at New Haven, and Worthing United versus Cockthorne. On Tuesday evening is obviously the Peter Bentley fixtures we read out earlier. Find anything, guys?
You're on
Should
mute.
we start with Trev? Should we start with that? What happened last night with Saltdean, or the day before?
Yes. They need a new manager.
Yeah, they do. I thought it was a bit premature, wasn't it?
Do you know what? Funny enough, I wrote a programme piece, a bit of that, because National League as well, nowhere in our region, but Mark Cooper's gone from Yeovil Town. Now, they've played 5 games. Saltdean possibly played 5 games as well. You understand the Yeovil won a little bit. They were 3-0 up on Monday and ended up losing 4-3. But they've got 41 games to play. Saltdean have probably got another 29 still to play. And when you go back about, I don't know, probably a long time, about 20 years or so, managers used to get about 10 games, roughly-ish. And then since then, over the years, it's decreased. Some get 3 games. And then you look at it and go, you gave that guy the pre-season to sign the players he wanted, to get through the pre-season and then into that, and then you're ripping it up and starting again. So,
do you reckon they took into account, or maybe Dan himself took into account, the record obviously over the last few years? I mean, it's not the greatest record, is it? I think it's, what is it, 9 wins in 3 years?
Not 9 years in 3 years. I did bunk that to you just.
It was good, right?
I don't know. I mean, it's the same.
Because that's a nice club they're building down there. We've seen the developments. You know what they're doing. They're building a lovely stadium. I would like to see them give it. Whether it was his decision, whether it normally give them 8, 9, 10 games.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right, Monty. Yeah, Lingfield also do need a new manager because they part company with Dan Burnett yesterday as well. Again, they've not had a great start. So they haven't had a great start, as you said as well. Dean's record though over the last 2 or 3 years, but I think one year they actually escaped relegation because only one went down in the end.
Oh, right.
And while I'm looking at the table this evening as well, I'm looking at it, and bottom of the table is Copthorne with 4 losses from 4. And I'm sitting there thinking as well, when a club gets a reprieve, they're finished in that bottom 2 or 3, not generally because they're crap or they're rubbish, they could be, but the club might be in a state off the pitch that it needs to actually drop down a level to reset and rebuild itself and come back up again. So you look at it and go, are they going to waste the whole year of football when potentially, if they'd have gone down a level, they might have stabilised somewhere and then regroup and come back up again?
I reckon that's an ideal job for Dave Ortendorf, I do.
Right, so
yeah.
Well, funny enough, I did see him on Monday at Sussex, having a chat with them. Obviously, he's very keen to get back in. He was earlier in the season as well, across pre-season. As I also put in, I think one of the pieces as well. There are so many managers and coaches out there, and there aren't actually enough jobs. I'll say sneak in and get a job. I'm thinking of Robbie Savage, people like that, and then that pushes other people out that have gone through, done their courses first before they've got into those kind of places, but it just isn't the space for them.
Yeah, I mean, like in a year's time, when that stadium's completely done, and that'd be a lovely job for someone. It really would. But
Park, it's got everything as a location. It's a beautiful place to play.
And again, maybe that's what we have half an eye on as well. It's not just the here and now. It's like, right, next season we want that to be a Premier Division ground. So do we need to do something sharpish to ensure that happens?
Fair one.
Great.
Right. Rather than giving the people a kiss of death and everything like that, let's talk about some of those sides then, Trev. Where are we going first?
Jarvis Brook, so I don't want to give them a kiss of death. But
what a side the old Brook boys are having at the moment. Step 6.
4-point gap at the top. I know it got on me, got 2 in hand. And again, it's that big imbalance of people having played 3 games, 4 games, 5 games. I'm looking at the table and I'm like, you really take that much notice of it like a rocket. Underneath them, it's as tight as a duck's butt.
Yeah, Trev, I saw him play pre-season against Shoreham in a friendly. And I'll tell you what, to beat Jarvis Brook, you've got to outwork them. They work hard. I think they'll probably say themselves they're probably not the most technically gifted in the league, but they will work all day and they give it their all. I'd say I did say they would shock some this year.
Well,
we saw them last week, Chris, didn't we? They looked very, very good last week.
They did, against a decent ringside, and subsequently they've beaten Worthing United, who we all fancied pre-season. And who they got on Saturday?
That'd be a game.
That's a cracker. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good because Infinity of I think they started the season with a loss or a draw. I think it won a loss, and then all of a sudden they picked up a couple of wins, beat Arundel on Monday. Quite surprised. Go on.
Yeah, they drew Uckfield first. They actually lost on Saturday at Rydegate, and they've had their obligatory 3-3 draw at Billingshurst, like everybody is. But
they've had 4 draws, haven't they, Billingshurst, out of 5 games?
Yeah, and then got thumped 5-0 by East Preston on Monday, which is their only defeat of the season. But yeah, we said last week, and we'll say it again this week. If you want to see goals, go and watch Billingshurst wherever they're playing, because they're flying in left, right, centre, 50 yards out, 40 yards out, everywhere.
They're 13th, but they've got the best attack in the league.
Going on down in Selsley, Trev. Them down there. I know it's a bit windy.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start. Picked up a 2-0 win in the Vars, which I think is the first win of the season on Saturday against Ringwood. 0-0 against Lockswood possibly not a bad result, given Locks have started fairly well this year. Bar the Vars game, they've been fairly steady. And I wouldn't be surprised if Locks are actually up and around this. So, I mean, they had to play Saltine this weekend at New Haven on the 3G, 4G, 5G, whatever it is these days, probably 7G by the time the next surface gets down. That's possibly a reasonably big game this early in the season for both of those two sides, needing the points.
These surfaces reminded me of Gaz's burger ratings, but in all seriousness, Chelsea have who've Chelsea lost to so far this season, and this is another bit of a start. Jarvis Brook, Worthing United, Arundel away. Like, that's not an easy run.
Worthing United are a decent team, and I know they got beat, but they'll be there.
They were unbeaten until that time.
At the same time, you've got to play everybody twice at some point.
Yeah.
Sometimes getting those ones out of the way early.
Yeah, before they can build some momentum. Absolutely.
Yeah, it could be the way to do it. So, see what happens this weekend. Right, Southern Combination Division 2. Saturday finished Alford 0, Chichester City B3, ASC Brighton Rangers 4, Upper Beeding 2, Capel 4, Rudwick 1, Herring 4, Worthing Town 2, Helston 4, Boston 0, Southwater 2, Brighton Electricity 2, and TD Shipley 1, Ruston 0. Then on Monday it was Alford 6, Rudwick 1, Boston 0, Chichester City B 5, Capel 0, Southwater 2, Helston Town 1, ASC Brighton Rangers 3, Rossington 7, Ferring 3, Storrington 2, Worthing Town 2, and TD Shipley 1, Upper Beeding 1. Then on this coming Saturday, it's Alford against Worthing Town, Boston against Rudwick, Capel against Rustington, Ferring host Helston Town, Southwater at home to ASC Brighton Rangers, Storrington host at Brighton Electricity, and TD Shipley are at home to Chichester City B. I don't know if I mentioned that this is TD Shipley are top of the league with 3 wins from 3, which is a very good opening start. But I think they've played all their games at home so far, and they're at home again this Saturday. So we'll see how they get on. Right, the Mid Sussex Premier Division on Friday evening, it was Shoreham Seconds 1, Balcombe 6, French Athletics, Punnett Town 3, Crowhurst 6, and Rotherfield 5, Polegate Town 1, Westfield 4, Cookfield Rangers 0. On this Friday evening, Shoreham Seconds are at home against Linfield with a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Then on Saturday, which are all 2 o'clock kickoffs bar the last one, Cookfield Rangers against French Athletic, Holland Sports against Rotherfield, Holland United against Balcombe, Polegate Town against Reigate Priory Seconds, and the 3 p.m. kickoff is Crowhurst against Westfield. Battle Town have withdrawn from the division by the looks of things. They're running with 13 teams, so there's going to be one.
Already?
Yeah, already, yeah. Well, the first game of the season was postponed, so I was like, okay, that goes down to PP. And then having a look at the fixtures just before I come online, and a couple of them have changed. And I'm like, oh, why are they there and why are they there? Then when I went and look at the table, I'm like, oh, there's no Battle Town anywhere. So there we go. The West Sussex League Premier Division actually kicks off this weekend as well. We have realised they're actually step 8, not step 7, but never mind. We're going to chuck them in, so we've got a whole nice little spread across Sussex. There's a cup final actually taking place this evening at Arundel, which will be close.
Final?
Yeah, cup final. Don't ask me why. It's the Memorial Cup. Go on.
We're in August.
My guess, right, it's Watersfield against Dell United. I have a feeling Watersfield might have won the league last year, but didn't get promoted. Rudwick went up, and Dell United might have been like the cup winners or something. So it's a bit like a charity shield, but they've called it a cup. It's the Memorial Cup, the Walter Roster Memorial Cup. So there we go. Right, this Saturday, all 2 p.m. kickoffs. Holbrook Olympic host Angmering, Boston Crusaders against Petworth. It's Witter United against Watersfield, and TD Shipley Reserves versus AFC Fishbourne. This is what happens when you stream your mic. It's rubbish. I reckon it's right, actually, especially with that Arsenal badge and all. Right, that rounds up all the fixtures and results for the weekend of games to come. Team of the week, and I'll be glad when we get to the end of this month and it reverts back to 4 bleeding Saturdays, and it's a damn sight easier to blooming pick, eh, Gaz?
Yeah, it's stressing me out.
So me as well. I'm looking at results, thinking, "Oh, well, that was a good one," and they won that one. Like, we'll have them for that. And I'm like, "Oh no, that's going to go into next week." So, as from next week, I'm trying to work it out as we go. So on Sunday, we'll announce the last winner of the month, which takes into account the bank holiday Monday result and Saturday result, which is the last Saturday of August. So we'll announce that on Sunday, which means we can then put the poll up for the actual team of the month as we enter September. And then you'll have 3 or 4 days to pick who your choice is of the 4 winners. And then it should revert to a nice 4 week. So we'll actually be able to announce it on our socials before we get to the show on a Wednesday. There we go. Right. So anyway, our team of the week this week, we've gone for Hayward Heath Town. 1-0 win over Wick last Tuesday, and a 7-0 win over East Preston on Saturday. 8 goals scored, none conceded. If we'd have added in the Monday as well, they would have had another 1-1 win. We did consider Horsham for their 2-1 win over Torquay, which we thought was blinding. We also did consider Jarvis Brook as well, but they drew one of their games at the weekend. So in effect, we're looking at a combination of 2 games. We're extending Town in there as well, who won twice, with New Haven in there, who won twice. So everyone's got one more opportunity this coming Saturday to pick a win out of the hat and get yourself in as the 4. And if you don't, there's another 4 chances next month, and a month after that, and a month after that. And as you've seen, there's a nice little trophy for you to be able to win as well. So congratulations to everyone over at Hayward Heath Town. They're in the draw as we get number 3 winners. Right, where's everyone off to next week? Gaz, you're going first because you're super organised this week, and I'm thinking, Jesus, this guy's obviously got no job anymore for the next couple of days, maybe, which is why he's super organised.
Yeah, something like that. I'm going on Saturday. I'm going to Arundel against Godalming.
Right, I'll cross that one off the list next.
And then Tuesday, if I can get a ticket, I'm going to go to Horsham Eastbourne Borough.
Okay.
If I can't, then I'm going to go to Lancing. Against, I can't remember who they're playing. But I'm going to Lancing.
Let's hope Lancing are actually at home then.
Yeah, they are at home, I checked that.
So Saturday, Town are away at East Grinstead. My motivation to go there is low because I work there. I can't be bothered to go on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I should, so I might go, I might not. And then Tuesday, if I do go anywhere, it'll be somewhere in between East Grinstead and Eastbourne. I will play by ear. That was how I did. Yeah, maybe Uckfield. I did ring me last time. I will see. I'll see what fixtures appeal.
Yeah, that's always a good one, isn't it?
Lancing at home to Shoreham.
There you go. Lancing got Shoreham. No, Uckfield away. Could go Eastbourne United.
Oh, I could actually. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in between if it's in my home. If it's in the town I live in, I'll make an allowance for that.
make a diversion. Mike.
Yeah.
Saturday I'm banned because my wife doesn't have a sense of humour.
IKEA away then.
Yeah.
Well, no. Look, obviously I had everyone on Saturday, didn't I? And that got late. So, however, Sunday, obviously.
I was going to come to that in a second, but yeah, go on.
No, we'll come to that in a second. Obviously, I'm doing the same on Sunday. So, yeah, but sadly, unfortunately not. I'll be sitting here watching all you 3 moan about where you are in the games and giving you burgers 11 out of 10 and your beers and this, and I'll just be sitting here.
Well, what you could do on Saturday is what you did want to do on Monday, which is watch the scores coming, because they'll all be at the same time on Saturday rather than like you'd have had 2 lots on Monday. Would you get away with that?
True.
Coming on Tuesday.
No, I'm at Lancing on Monday night.
There you go.
I was going to say, let's see if he gets permission,
Okay.
but probably not 2 nights in a row.
No, yeah, I'll be there on Monday night to do the rearranged interview. But that does bring us on to Sunday, doesn't it, Trev? Something important, something really important happening Sunday.
tell us all about it.
So, obviously, Sunday at Roffey FC, we have the Kelvin Lucas memorial match. Player from around these ends that played for a lot of local teams, including Roffey. Sadly passed. And Alfold, yeah. And obviously, sadly passed away. And left a young family. So they put on a memorial match that will start at 12 o'clock at Roffey FC. Beautiful place. And you want to get down there, raise some money. They've got some fantastic prizes. Have you seen the prizes they've got?
Yeah, really good.
They've got like Bruno Fernandes's boots. They've got golf trips. They've got Gareth Southgate shirts, England rugby shirts. You know, they've got an Armani watch. That looks pretty tight. We're going to do a Snlf half-time penalty shootout, 25 kids. No adults, please. We've got Goldie Mont going in goal, and we're going to donate some money every time they score. And every kid that takes one's going to get an SNF football that we've had done up as well, even if they miss. But yeah, we'll be doing our bit. Just get down there and raise some money for a great cause. You know, for a great lad who's left a very young family aside.
And as Monty said in the comments as well, auction, raffle, and different foods what you'd normally get on a match day. And if it's anything like the ground hop last year, get yourself down there and get something different, because they had all sorts of food. They were serving cakes, and I mean slices of the cakes in the tea hut. It's a beautiful venue for watching football as well. And so, Mike, it starts at 12. The football actually kicks off at 2. Is that right?
Yeah, just get down there from 12 onwards. I think it's about 2 o'clock. It kicks off there. So, but the main thing is just go there, have a few quid, have a pint, and just remember what a great guy he was and the impact he made on people.
Absolutely. If you're after Mike's autograph, he'll be there with a pen as well.
Day off.
Pen
dog will be there.
He's not just signing Dugout either. Right. Thanks everyone who's watched along this evening. And if you're listening on the podcast audio, thank you very much for listening on that. You can follow us on X at the SNLF and Facebook, the snlf.co.uk. Gaz, TikTok and Instagram, it's growing nicely.
The snlf.co.uk. Can we get to 1,000 on TikTok by the end of the week?
How many you want?
943.
There we go, 57.
57 today. And look, we want to get to 1,000 on Instagram as well. This is slowing down, and we're still getting so the last 30 days we've had 70,200 views on Instagram, but we're only on 587 followers. When I look at everything that I've put out, 75% of the people aren't following us. Like,
Is that funny?
No,
Right.
Sorry, that was on one specific tweet. So 30% of the people that see our content aren't following us, but 30% of 70,000. I'm not going to do the maths because I'm a bit when it comes to that. That's a lot of people.
It's 21,000, guys. Come on.
Okay, so that's 21,000 people, right, that have seen our content on Instagram but don't follow us. We're running a little competition on there in conjunction with Broadwater Sports as well. We just need you to like the post, follow the snf.co.uk and Broadwater Sports on Instagram, and then tag someone in the comments who you love going to football with. You do that, you'll win a 25-26 Premier League football in bright pink.
In pink?
Yeah, they're pink. Have you not seen them? There you go.
Oh, I thought you meant...
Pink.
Okay.
Give us a follow on... come and enter the competition. There's only 11 people that have entered it so far.
You'd be in with a good chance of winning that.
You've got an 8%.
And do you know what?
You've probably got an 8% chance of winning. Well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy World Lottery.
2-1.
Oh, man, I'm not even interested in United score.
Did you find out Oakwood AFC Wolverhampton
No,
or
it's
not?
0-0. Do you know what? I know the guy that does the Instagram at Oakwood. I used to work with him, and he plays for Oakwood. So I'm imagining there will be an update at some point shortly. But at the moment, there is nothing.
There's a bit. That's a bit of a planning fail, surely. If the guy who does the tweets and stuff,
I mean,
otherwise engaged on the pitch.
Just tweets.
I mean, the one thing I will say about them is that in terms of Oakwood, last year they had nothing social media wise, and this year they have stepped it up a little bit, especially on Instagram, because I know that's what he's doing. Literally tags me in anything, in everything.
Just not mid game.
To share. Just don't get much mid game, and then Wolverhamptons, I don't know. We don't know much about them yet. Hopefully, we'll know.
Well, I know you gave them team of the week in the first week.
I deserved it, mate.
It could have been anything, mate.
But anyway,
he's just annoyed because they beat Arundel.
Leave Arundel out of it.
Right. If you listen on the podcast as well, please share it around for us. Give us the 5 stars. We don't really push that as much as we probably should. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Get us up the ratings a little bit higher. We really do appreciate it. It doesn't do what it does for other people in like booking guests and stuff like that, because I just ask people to come on and they say yes. So we don't have any problem with that. When we're not booking the likes of, I don't know, someone really famous, because we ain't that good yet, but we're getting there. Right. Enjoy your football if you're heading out at the weekend or next Tuesday, and we'll see you again next Wednesday.
And get down to Roffey FC, 12 o'clock on Sunday for the Memorial game if you can.
bye.
In case you forgot.
Cheers, guys.
Adios, amigos.